focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. Express Technology Sabha, an Express Group initiative.
Express Technology Sabha in its 17th edition commenced with the phenomenal theme of achieving the vision of Digital India. This three-day event, a flagship IT venture of the Express Group, converged experts from the government and India's top IT and consulting firms in the IT hub of Hyderabad. With riveting rounds of presentations and panel discussions, the conference also witnessed the launch of the Smart City Report and a series of prestigious e-governance awards.
We are producing the first of its kind Smart City Report. We worked with PwC very closely to put this out. The objective is for it to be the best and the longest record of the Smart City project. As India develops and as our cities get smarter, this is going to be the benchmark. We think that every year will rank how smart our cities are becoming.
The Express Technology Sabha had a series of panel discussions focusing on making the cities technologically smarter as a step towards achieving the vision of Digital India. The power panels on the first day of the Sabha deliberated on smart cities as the new frontier in digital governance and improvements in citizen service delivery systems in Digital India.
We have come to a pass where the state of service delivery in our cities can only be described as abysmal. So when you are in that sort of a situation, IT offers you a tremendously powerful instrument to leapfrog.
Singapore is a classic example of a city-state which has completely transformed itself from being a third world city to an absolute first world plus city over a period of 50 years, no more. In fact, they really started around 1970, so you could even say over 40 years. So I think we have a long way to go, but what we have to realize is that it is not about spending money. Just investment will not bring the change about. We need to fix our governance systems, and we need leadership in which people, have to engage. It's not, I don't mean leadership only from the government side. You need empowered people who then demand good governance.
The question is actually, if you see the 100 cities, the criteria for selection of those 100 cities to be developed as smart cities in India, a majority of those cities are those which have been in existence for centuries, and it's a big challenge as to how to retrofit the concept of smartness into an otherwise not so smart city.
We need a large number of change agents at various levels if this dream of either Digital India or for Andhra Pradesh has to become a reality. So that is the key to success.
Are we clear about the end game, or are we clear about the middle game? Are we getting the building blocks in place for the Digital Indian Revolution?
Three basic things which we are planning basically as a part of the Digital India. One, we are targeting that we must give the digital infrastructure to the citizens. Second, we are trying to basically bring governance and the services to the citizens. And third, we are trying the digital empowerment of the citizens. Now what is happening is, if we see into this, one is the delivery mechanism, one is the end user, one is the who is generating the services. Now this infrastructure is a mandate which is already as a part of NEGD project has been already provided to many states. Already I think almost all states under the NEGD project funded by the Department of Electronics and IT, Government of India has got state data center where you can put in all the servers of the government departments. You can host the data, you can host your websites and other data which is more important to the citizens or to the government functionaries.
The doyens of technology put forth their ideas in a series of presentations about how smart cities are the new frontiers in digital governance.
Well, the first stage to start that as a part of the curriculum in school.
That digital India or M-governance is way to go.
Maybe it's time to start looking at what the government needs in terms of building modern IT infrastructure that can actually help the government achieve the vision that it's actually laid out in terms of, when if you look at the 8-9 pillars of digital India vision, each one of them, though it's facing citizens, it faces governments, it talks between government to government, have a critical base which is the IT infrastructure. And if that fails, none of those are actually going to work.
I think digital India has come of age right now, and the challenges that you speak of in India, not just in India, in other countries also. It's just the intensity of those challenges probably increase when you're working in a country like India. But so far we've been pretty successful in our approach to the government. The market here in India itself, and plus working with the government itself, we've been pretty successful.
Coming up, stay tuned as we unfold the chronicles of the second day of the Express Technology Sabha.
Express Technology Sabha, an Express Group initiative. Express Technology Sabha, an Express Group initiative.
The Express Technology Sabha coalesced technology experts from India Inc. on one stage for a vigorous exchange of thoughts on digital India. The second day of the Express Technology Sabha started with the corporate leaders presenting technological solutions for security in digital India.
APT stands for Advanced Persistent Threat.
A company going to $8 billion turnover in a span of less than 5 years. IT security has been and is about identifying and mitigating risks. Risk is the possibility or the potential of a threat to exploit or compromise the vulnerability, to obtain damage or destroy an asset. It is the asset that holds significant value for the businesses. So the threats compromise vulnerabilities to obtain, damage or destroy assets. Now where does that take us to? It yields to two kinds of risk. One is the perceived IT risk, and the second is the business risk, which affects the organization itself, the employees.
If you understand the Digital India concept, whatever we do in Digital India, it will finally boil down to data and growth of data. And with Internet of Things coming up, there will be data all around. So with all this exponential growth of data, what you need at the back is data center to store the data. When you have a data center, it comes with a host of technologies that are needed, like cloud virtualization to optimize your data center. It comes with data center management technologies that are needed to manage data center. And it also comes with something which makes your data center secure, so security technology.
The concluding day of the Express Technology Sabha changed course with an engrossing discussion about best practices in cybersecurity.
First and foremost, the first problem I see is that, we are not a very quality conscious culture. And secondly, added to this and making it a little worse is that, our attitude to risk. We take risks with a very fatalistic view and are not as bothered about the future, because inherent in all this is lack of discipline, lack of planning, lack of organization. And therefore, whatever is not essential to our working at the current moment seems to us to be fairly inessential.
The 21st century cyber world has literally taken over every single functioning of human existence. The system ought to deliver, and what the system ought to deliver is basically in literally any and every field. Cyber is the world. There is no different world today. Cyber itself is the world. And that is the real world. Unlike what we think that the cyber world is something which is virtual, which is digital, which is different from the physical world, and that it can be tackled in a different manner. So that is not the reality. Unfortunately, when the cyber world got created from the internet to different softwares to whatever mechanisms we have in place, network data centers and the like, security was not an important consideration, and that is how we have reached where we have reached. Of the Fortune 500 companies, 97% has been hacked, and 3% are not aware that they have already been hacked. So it is the biggest emerging trend which the US and the rest of the world has been talking about. What we need today is the confidentiality, integrity, availability, and also the resilience of the whole system on which we work.
On the other side, we take you through the final day of the Express Technology Sabha as the conference draws to a close.
Express Technology Sabha, an Express Group initiative. Express Technology Sabha, an Express Group initiative.
The 17th edition of the Express Technology Sabha emerged as an exceptional platform for consolidation of remarkable ideas for delivering the target of Digital India. Explaining the importance of IT and governance, the presentations on day 3 spread out the roadmap for smart governance in smart cities.
When we talk about public financial management, like any other place, there are a large number of different events that take place. One, of course, is the budgeting, like anywhere else. There's expenditure, there's accounts, there are revenues. Then the governments borrow a sizable chunk of money. They float bonds, they go to the markets and borrow. So there's a substantial money that comes. And then government employs a large number of personnel. My state has 5.6 lakh employees. We have 3.2 or 3.4 lakh pensioners. So those who serve the government and retired. This is the state, the smallest state of Andhra Pradesh, which is after division.
The ultimate panel discussion asserted the ways of improving and optimizing governance with technology.
Around 75% of the capacity is idle.
Another thing which we're trying to do is build a good orchestration layer among, because we being in government cannot really stick to one technology or other.
The applicability or the usage of Twitter as a public platform, which all of us, I'm sure, are aware of, the Prime Minister downwards, everyone in the government has now started using it. We've had a phenomenal year. If you followed the Mars orbiter launch, the moment it went live, it announced it going live with a tweet. So we worked with ISRO to make sure that was happening.
Remember when we started this state data center, we just hosted 5 departments and we were full. And that's it. So it was like 100 crores project and we were full in the day when we launched our state data center. So it's important we have so many departments. The data is huge. And we are also looking at developing a center of excellence in cloud and big data. I think this would be probably the first state to do it. We're also working on it. And it's also one of those CM's initiative to have a big data, because we understand the data collected through CCTNS, the resident data, the data through the Katoni, Kasra, everything has to be integrated at some level. And that is very important. When you integrate these data, that's when you will actually use the data in a very, IT way. Otherwise, you are just digitizing the land records.
See, Twitter is very well equipped to handle the Indian market and take it on and make sure that our user experience is as effective and as hardcore as it is for users anywhere in the world. Having said that, there's a whole bunch of factors that come into play when we strategize for India. So that's why the recent acquisition that you saw of ZipDial, wherein we are now integrated the missed call product with the Twitter platform, is one such step in that effort. If you also look at on the product level, there are customizations being done so that people experiencing Twitter on low data get the same experience as people experiencing Twitter on high data. So there's a whole range of innovations being led, the core of which philosophically being that the user experience should be great for anyone and everyone who wants to use the platform.
One of the reasons where UP lagged was that we didn't do much about we didn't talk much about what we are doing in the state. So we have left it to our local, information dissemination systems. So it's important if we becomes an important part in all the national events and share what it has been doing for the last. Suddenly, and I say like we distributed 15 lakh laptops, and no other state has done it actually. And we are also thinking of giving an internet connection very soon. And we are also working on many things. So these are things which, it's also a wonderful platform to share your own knowledge and also derive something from others' knowledge also. So it's a knowledge sharing platform.
Creating a new benchmark, the event turned into a stage for honoring outstanding contributions in e-governance through the prestigious Express Tech Sabha e-governance awards. The first award of the evening went to the Traces CPC TDS team Ghaziabad for Best E-Governance Implementation. The second award of the evening was dedicated to Gujarat International Finance Tech City for outstanding implementation of information and communication technologies in urban development. The next award of the evening was bestowed upon Passport Seva Project and Chhattisgarh Online Information for Citizen Empowerment for outstanding performance in citizen service delivery. The Express Technology Sabha E-Governance Award for Best Implementation of Cyber Security in Government went to Centre for Railway Information Systems. The E-Governance Champion Award was handed to Open Data Initiative, the first national cloud of Government of India and development of guidelines for government websites. The Ultimate E-Governance Award was given to MahaGov Cloud for its exemplary contribution in the functioning of the Government of Maharashtra.
To me, Digital India means digital states, because everything happens in states. Very few things happen in the center, but the actual things that happen on the ground are going to happen in the states. Everything has to be digitized in governance, in delivery of the services, filing of applications, knowing your bank account, and transferring money, and then processing of your requests to the government, knowing what the government is thinking, accessing their policies, accessing the chief minister, accessing the decision makers, and the decision makers and the ministers and the executive accessing the people.
I believe that Indian Express having these kind of events where it is recognizing several such initiatives by governments is definitely going to help the governments to understand the importance of committing itself to better citizen services and implementing them. And I believe probably we won the award today, but I think each nominee deserves an applause because they have thought out of the box, which is most important, and have committed themselves to the cause.
After invigorating discussions and stimulating presentations on tech-savvy Indian cities, the unique congregation of technology giants at India's largest e-governance conference, Express Technology Sabha, concluded with thought-provoking ideas for accomplishing the vision of Digital India.
Express Technology Sabha, an Express Group initiative. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.